Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to episode 37 of Studio Time with Ryos. In today's video, I'm going to try a remix idea for Alok, Chainsmokers, and May Steffen's new song called Jungle. It's an absolute heater and I'd like to put my own twist on it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Wait, I'm sorry I lied. Before we get right into it, I'm going to plug my new song Holding On that just dropped. Go check it out, go stream it, go show love. And then on top of that, it's now November, which means there's a new Patreon sample pack that is out. It will expire when November is over. So go get that today. The link for that will be down below in the description. Now we can get right into it. All right, guys, I'm excited for today's video, particularly because this vocal is absolutely amazing. The melodies, the vibe of this track are absolutely amazing. And I think it's set up so perfectly for a nice Ryos hybrid prog remix. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and let's get started right away. I already have the acapella pulled up. I got the original track pulled up in my DAW as well. And I think the first order of business is going to be to remake the melodies because I definitely want to use their main melody in, you know, a progressive house style format. So that's going to be the first order of business. So this track actually uses one of my favorite bass lines. So that's another thing that really drew me to this record. So very simple here. Boom. Boom. I love that bass line so much. Now for the chords, I'm not going to bother making them right now. I'm probably going to wind up making my own variation of chords using this bass line as the project progresses. The main melody is way more important, so that's what we're going to do right now. All right, you guys, so I just finished remaking the melody more or less. This is what it sounds like. I love this melody so much. What a melody. All right, so first, the way I figured it out was I just played the drop over and over again and just trial and error with the piano, matching my piano up with their piano because they used one in their drop as well. Landed with this melody. I noticed that the bass line actually hits B. In the intro, it stayed on C sharp. Small little discrepancy there, but I digress. Now we can get into the fun part. I want to straight away start with making some big ass leads using this melody. My first idea is to try to make a future rave kind of lead stack, or like pick the main layer to be a future rave layer and then kind of use progressive layers around it. Gonna try it, why not? And then if it's ass, it's ass. We move on. That sounds not a bad shot. It's not exactly what I had in mind though. I want something a little simpler. After tweaking this sound a little bit, this is kind of more what I had in mind. I'm going to keep this in the back pocket. If you guys don't already know, basically what I like doing when I'm creating a whole new lead stack is just to find a bunch of what I think are cool sounds and then kind of pick and choose from there. So you'll see me kind of storing these sounds in the background. I love this one. This is the primary lead, for sure. All right, so let's bring in this awesome melody. Super obsessed with it. Plug this in and see what this sounds like. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be so dope. All right, let me not get ahead of myself too much. Let's open up Spire now. Let's go ahead, let's get some more layers. Let's try Silent. I'm going to Silent because I kind of want to get that 2014, 2015 nasally big room lead sound. I think that'll make a good layer for this stack. Wait a second, this is not what I was looking for, but... See, that is why... I love a happy accident. Okay, this lead was not what I was looking for, but it sounds really, really nice with the other two leads, so that's great. Okay, so I think we're just going to move on from these leads. I think I'm going to add one more layer, but I could just do that later down the line. I'm going to keep it moving and grooving because I like the way it sounds so far. So now that we have our lead group, the first thing that I'm going to do is throw on an Arts Acoustic reverb. You know damn well I got to fill out those gaps with reverb. I mean, it's just begging for it. It's something that I love to do all the time, and then especially with this style and melody, there's just all this beautiful space that I can fill up. So we'll go ahead, just do a simple automation like so. Oh yeah. Okay, sick. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to automate an LFO, and I'm going to make it go side to side extremely fast during these reverb throws. Maybe for the first one, we keep it clean, and then I can introduce it here maybe. Yeah, so we'll just use it as a means of spicing it up. As I work on it, maybe I'll place this in more spots, but that sounds pretty good for now. The next thing is to make these leads a little bit bigger. So we'll just go with the classic Camel Crusher here. Awesome. Camel Crusher is adding a great texture. The next thing that I'm going to try doing is not Valhalla delay. We're going to go for H delay. And I want to just add a simple ping pong kind of style delay just to increase the overall sense of space here. We're not quite done with the leads yet. The last order of business is going to be to add some pitch automation. Okay, so before I even mess with the pitch automation, I do want to add some of these bendies here. And yes, I call them bendies and slideys. All right, now let's do some automation. And I missed a note here, actually, so this should go down to C sharp. All right, so now we're pretty much done with the leads. Spent a little bit of time working on them, but definitely worth it because they sound freaking dope. All right, now Wise Man once said, if you're going to have big leads, you got to have big bass. It's only right. So let's go ahead. Let's work on some bass. The first idea that I want to try is to actually use a big room kick as my main bass sound, or for the main low-end harmonics. I'm going to definitely use some top basses and stuff, but let's find a nice, really disrespectful big room kick, and then we'll go from there. We're going to just make a simple 4 on the floor pattern. So we'll go ahead, just chop this up. Like that. And then I'm going to just sidechain it. So we're going to get rid of the punch of the kick through the sidechain. Now, like I did mention, we are going to need some additional basses besides this one. This one's going to act as like our main just low-end beefiness, if you will, but we're going to need some mid-range layers to add energy and just cut through the mix and stuff. So with that being said, I'm thinking about getting a kind of standard, really crispy layer and then a really aggressive kind of driving layer. So we'll start with the crispy layer. Got to go with crispy, you know what I'm saying? Insane. Okay, now let's get the drive bass going. I think this makes for a great starting point. I'm going to try something weird, though. What if we throw on Serum Effects and mess with the reverb filter? Because you get some nutty results that way. See, my criteria for a bass sound is it has to give you a stank face. And this does it for me. We're going to go ahead. We're going to chop off the lows, though. I'm absolutely not going to want any of this. And then we can go ahead and add some distortion. And then we're going to have to add another EQ. Just want to tame this region a bit. And then, you know what? I'll make a small dip for the harshness as well. Okay, so I also want to just experiment with making the bass line a little bit more interesting. Nothing crazy. One of my favorite ways of doing that is just simply with octave jumps. So I'm thinking before each note changes or hits the next note in the progression, we just go up an octave. Yeah, very simple, but something that I really enjoy doing. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it for the end yet. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But in the meantime, I am going to create a top bass group. That way I can sidechain the crispy and drive bass together. The next thing that we're going to do is create more space in these gaps of the melody by removing the bass. So we're going to just make some cuts like so. Oh, yeah. Now, just like the octave jumps, I'm not sure if I want to have the spacing in my bass line for this B section here. I'm kind of thinking we do a call and response where the A section has the octave jumps and the spacing, and then the B section is a bit more stable. It's kind of how my P-brain works. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to just leave it for now. We can come back and revisit this, and we're going to go ahead and focus on just adding more elements. So I already am filling up this gap with reverb throws, but one thing that I love to do is add different bass shots and other funky things in between these gaps. So I think that's the first thing that I'm going to try, is adding some really mean bass stabs right here. Yeah, I like that. That sounds cool. Ooh, okay, wait, I have a good idea. So for this one, we have a clean, simple swell that kind of follows the reverb swell, right? But then on this go-round, the reverb has that crazy like LFO stutter effect. So it'd be cool if we did that to the bass as well. So let's get a different bass in altogether, or even like a glitch sound. Oh, wait a second. What? Oh my god, that is so disrespectful. Now I'm just gonna keep going crazy with the bass shots. Right here, I'm gonna add the one that I used in Midsummer Nights to kind of layer here with these different bass layers. I want to try also adding some stabs as well here. Yeah, I like the idea of brass stabs, actually. All right, now these brass stabs need to be heavily, heavily processed. I'm going to go ahead and throw on a delay and reverb straight away. All right, and we're going to probably do OTT 100%. Maybe not 100. All right, now I want to add a cool synth in the background here so that the whole thing kind of ties together and it just adds a little extra energy. Maybe try this guy. Just pitch him down. Yes, okay, I do like this. I want to make it a little bit more interesting, though, so let's try thermal. Let's see if there's some weird and fun stuff in here. There usually is. That's pretty cool. Ooh, okay, I like that a lot, actually. Adds movement. I was going to add movement with panning, but now that we have this, I kind of don't have to. Could double down and do it anyway. Try that. That sounds really sick. The vocal drone fits perfect, and I love that like extra movement that's going on. Adds a lot of nice spice to this. Now, the one thing that I actually do want to try for a change is adding chords. If you guys know, I typically don't like adding chords in my drops, especially nowadays, but today maybe we spice it up a little bit. Dude, the saw in it actually sounds pretty nice already. Just EQ out a lot of the mud. The chords should also follow the same kind of spacing as the bass line here. So just going to make these cuts. I probably should have did this in MIDI, but what are you going to do? All right, now I'm going to add a detuned layer to this chord and probably just link it to the same mixer track because I want it to be EQ'd the same. So this should be pretty simple. I'm not going to go too crazy here. Okay, these chords actually sound really good in this drop. I had a feeling. I did have a feeling, folks. I do want to dirty them up a little bit, though. I kind of want to give them this, like, bit-crushed, gritty kind of texture here. I've actually never done this before. I basically got all my synths in before doing any effects or any drums, which is kind of funny, but whatever works. And, hey, I think all of the synths and sounds I have so far sound really dope, actually. They work well together. So now we can start to do some drum work finally. All right, so this kick is great. It's nice and punchy. I definitely wanted a more aggressive kick for this drop, and then I also just quickly added sidechain to the leads as well. But I think this kick could cut through a little bit better. I do have a lot of elements going on, so we're gonna just quickly throw on a transient shaper. All right, let's get a nice pre-shift clap in there. Now, this is the clap snare I use all the time. It's literally my favorite one ever. However, I think for this one today, I kind of want to experiment with just adding an additional layer to it. Even if it's just a basic kind of clap layer, I think that will help this drop, having a little bit more tail. All right, the clap layer sounds great. Next, before I try on beat claps, because I want to do that as well, let's get some cymbals going. All right, now what's next is to get some on beat claps going. Add a smidge of sidechain here. All right, so we got the bread and butter drums in, you know what I'm saying, the progressive house standards. Now I want to take some time to do some percussion, get a little bit of a groove going, as well as emphasize, you know, certain hits in the melody, basically. So let's go ahead. Let's do that now. The first thing that I'm looking for is going to be like a low percussion sound. It's pretty dope. Another good drum addition might be the memory hat. So I got rid of the robotic perk right in the beginning swell, and I like the way the memory hat and this tom work together in this drop. I think it sounds really nice. One thing that I do have to add to this tom so that it sounds a little bit just more interesting, I guess we can say, is a very, very small sweep right in the beginning. It's going to kind of give you this feeling that you're getting sucked into this tom. And I think that'll sound nice. So something very simple like this. See the right sound. Now I'm thinking if we got a really nice aggressive low tom to highlight these three notes right here, I think that's going to sound really, really nice. I think this works nice. I think it's also a good idea to get some clap fills. So you know what? I think I am leaning towards slicing up this second half of the drop as well, because right now it just feels almost like two different styles, and at first I thought the contrast would sound nice, but I think right now it just doesn't fit. It sounds like two different songs, kind of. So we're going to just chop up everything here. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I got it. All right. So here's what we're going to do. This area right here is where we would put a fill anyway. So we'll cut it up like this. I think that sounds great. And then for this section, because we have that kind of big room kick, it might be fun if we did like a kick fill kind of. So what I want to do is I want the kick to follow the lead pattern. So something like this. Yeah, just like that. No, I'm kidding. Nah, obviously sounds really bad, but if we line up the bass and line up everything to follow that, it's going to sound really nice. So if I want to successfully pull this off, I'm going to have to make a sidechain bus. So going to have to do some manual sidechain here, folks. Going to pull up Pro C2 for that. Okay, so right now I'm linking all of the main synths to the sidechain bus. Oh, that's also why it kind of sounds funky, is because I forgot to turn off the sidechain on everything else. Oops. Okay, let's do that. So now that I turned the kickstart off, I think this is going to sound better. This is just for the leads, but let's see. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Now I feel like we've set ourselves up for a great fill. A great opportunity to bring the vocal back in. So we'll start it when she sings Found the Jungle. I should do some filtering too on the leads. Basically just going to filter these leads down. It'd be cool to do more stuff here too on the leads. Oh, I have an idea. What if we get weird and detune the shit out of them as they filter down? Yeah, that sounds dope. I think for this fill, what might be a cool idea is to do that little da-da-da-da right here and cut the vocal off short and make sure everything is turned off so that it's just the lead kind of in solo. So that basically means we just got to take this part of the lead here, bring it all the way over here. I basically want to turn off all the special effects when this solo comes back in. There we go. Cool. Let's move on to the second half of the drop. You guys know how it goes. Very, very simple. We'll just copy over everything. I do want to try adding like a sweep or a small riser for this section. Then we'll do some hats and other second half of the drop type things. And then maybe some effects. And then I should probably do a break or something, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's first do this. This one's dope. Let me stretch it. I think the last two things I said were to get an exhaust or some just regular, crowd effects, stuff of that sort for the drop, help enhance it a little bit, as well as some things to go along in the second half of the drop. Mainly, I like to do drums, so... Sorry, I just saw this here. Why not try it? Hey. Hey, that actually sounds good. I love doing this trick though with hi-hats. If you cut off the tail right when the clap hits, it kind of gives it this extra groove or swing. So just like this. Boom. And then leave that. And then boom. So that would sound like this now. Yeah, it's subtle, but I really like doing it. Yeah, that sounds dope as shit, man. This drop came out really, really good. We could add some effects quick, why not? Where's my splash I always use? This will definitely sound good in the second half of the drop. And then I'll probably just use little bits and pieces of this splash for the first drop. Yeah, also get this sweep in here. Wait a second, folks. I just thought of something. What if we do the telephone effect that I also love? Right there. Wait a second. Yes, okay, so... that works so good. The reason I thought we should do that is because since we're a little too fat, so I had to thin them up, you know what I'm saying? I'm trolling, holy shit. But regardless, that works so good. Let's go. All right, you guys. So at this point, it's time to go do a build, do a break, do all that stuff. I have been working for a minute, and I kind of want to break. But you guys know, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to try to make a quick build up so that we can at least listen to the things in context. And what I love about Jungle, actually, is that the arrangement is pretty simple. For the hook, it just sounds like there's an analog bass, a dreamy kind of pad or a chord patch, and that's really it. So I can kind of replicate that relatively quickly, bring in my own synths, make a quick build up, and then I'm gonna call it raps. So first, let's try to recreate-ish, put my own twist on it, a dreamy pad and a kind of respace analog bass kind of vibe. That's pretty dreamy. I got a jungle in my heart when it gets wild, when it gets dark, yeah, only. So naturally, in this build-up, it would sound good if these chords kind of open up. Okay, cool. Now the next thing that I want to do is I want to get one of my signature respaces. It's this respace that I made, has this wild processing on it, and it's really, really mean. I think it's going to sound nice in this setting. So let me get that pulled up here. Love this one. This is going to fit really well with this idea, I think. I got a jungle in my heart when it gets wild, when it gets dark, yeah, only you know where to go, but if you're lost, then let me know. Let's filter in these drop leads right here. Another thing to help this transition is going to be a reverse reverb. So I'm just going to take one of the notes where C sharp is playing, turn off kickstart. I'm just going to quickly route this to a random mixer track for now. And then on this mixer track, we'll throw on Supermassive. All right, now we just got to line up the reverse reverb. Let's get a really, really big impact here. This impact might be a little too crazy, but we're going to rock with it for right now. Let's get this clap going. All right, now I'm just making a quick classic build snare. I'm going to experiment with only having that big snare come in the last 4 bars. So here. And then I'll have the clap kind of carry the rhythm in the beginning. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Now, for this initial section here with this impact, we should have a really big kind of downlifter. Maybe even a small kick here. Ooh, also, I use this sweep in Novocaine. Where is it? Because I definitely didn't save it yet. Oh my god, I did save it. I think this is perfect for the pre-drop. Alrighty, now let's get a nice riser going. I love this one. This one never fails me. All right, so I just nailed it. Basically, what I wound up doing is I linked these 3 drums all to the same filter, and it sounds like this now. And I pitched up the 2 snares as well. So it sounds a bit smoother there. I don't want it to completely cut off, but obviously if I just left everything open, it would just sound way too messy, clash with everything, and also hinder how hard the drop hits. But now that sounds good. Honestly, this build came together really, really nicely, actually. I'm also doing some automation on the master itself. I'm going to lower the volume particularly and do a little bit of high-pass filtering as well. All right, folks, that's it. We're done. Let's take a listen from the top, and let's see what I came up with.
I got a jungle in my heart when it gets wild, when it gets dark, yeah, only you know where to go. But if you're lost, then let me know. I got a jungle in my heart. I wish I knew you from the start and never feel like I got far from the jungle in my heart.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is Alok, Chainsmokers, May Stephens, Jungle, Ryos remix. Dude, this came out so sick. Well, you guys, it has been an absolute pleasure working with you guys today. All right, you guys gave me the moral support. You guys kept me focused. All right, and we came out on top with an absolute banger. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you're notified that the next time I upload. And you guys better hit this subscribe button because we're approaching 40K, and I want it. All right, so help a brother out. Make sure you subscribe. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to join the Patreon. We got monthly sample packs. We got feedback. We got lessons. We got project stems to studio time with Ryos, minus copyrighted content. But besides that, you know, a lot of good stuff there. You can go ahead down below to the link in my description for all of those details. And then also be sure to check out my brand new song, Holding On with Diego and Britt Laurie. Link for that will also be down below in the description. So that'll be all for me today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.